To begin my reflection, I'll begin by discussing my audience for the piece. I decided to choose students because the basis of education is students, and technology relates to that entirely because the world is evolving with technology, and students are recognizing that. I then proceed by quoting myself as I started the blog by discussing how students learn in different ways, and I continue by discussing my primary research with professors. And the professors that I contacted were, in fact, professors that work at Syracuse University currently. So they're too working with this technological change, and it's impacting the students as well. What's going on in the conversation right now is what is a more beneficial way to retain information in the classroom? Is it to take notes by hand or is it to take notes by the computer? And my argument and my resources and research have proved that it's more beneficial to take notes by hand for most. But as my professor Traeger, my psychology professor, discussed, some people do learn better as they take notes on the computer. And so some professors take that into account, and then my anthropology professor, for example, doesn't take that into account, and he bans technology in the classroom completely. To improve the conversation, and how will it fit with what I've described, is the facts that the technology growing can be beneficial in the future, but it can also be detrimental. It's per se, some succeed in the classroom when using technology, and some, in fact, do worse when using technology. So my primary research is what really fits in with this, because the primary research is what demonstrates exactly what is to be studied. The idea is that people are using technology and it's becoming a distraction, and it's harder to retain information when it isn't being written down. I was successful in engaging my audience because I did come to not a conclusion or a solution, but a claim that it is more beneficial for most people to take notes by hand, as it's shown in studies and as personal experiences from my professors have discovered and shared with me. I did get a response from my pitch. I did follow up. I did say thank you. I expressed my gratuity to them for taking the time to respond in much depth, and they were very clear. And it was interesting, as I wrote, that my anthropology professor related his work to his note-taking skills to his work, his field work, and my psychology professor related his to his personal knowledge and his background related to psychology. And I think that's funny, because if I kept going and asked a biology professor or someone else, I'm just wondering if the biology professor would say that it's hereditary, and it could just go on. How could I apply one of the writing to the project in another class? Well, it's interesting because I can use my own solutions, my own personal research to kind of use this in the future. Like, I myself take notes by hand, but sometimes I think maybe I could take notes on the computer, but now I'm like, I think it's better to just take them by hand and type them up later, maybe if I want to print them out or whatever, make them more neat. But I think it's better to take them by hand, and I think I've learned that in the future. I also have discovered that my teachers are very helpful, and things that aren't only in their class. I was surprised both of my teachers answered, as they have very big lecture classes, and I noticed that that they're very willing to help us learn, which is really great because, especially at such a prestigious university, you'd expect that they would be there for you when you have like questions and you're looking for research, as teachers here usually need to they usually are researching anyway to get paid, which is interesting. So I hope you enjoyed my Unit 2 project. Thank you.